Good morning. It is February 18th, out here in no man's land, just checking the greenhouses, taking a look how they're doing. They're looking pretty good. Got some more strawberries coming in already. We ended with, what was it, like 80 liters the night before, and we got about 61 more liters over the night. We got finished liming this field yesterday, and hopefully we can finish de-stoning and liming the other fields out here. Maybe I'll not today, but yeah, we might have to take out another $5,000 to lime everything. Hopefully not, but if we have to, that's what we gotta do. So we're gonna go and grab the tractor and get to work here. Oh, and it was like 7:15. I completely forgot about the time. And last time we were having a bit of an issue with the stone picker on the hill here. So hopefully we don't run into that problem too much today. It kind of slowed us down, picking up the stones out of the field. But we'll try and work around it as best as possible. Just picking up the stones where we can. Now we kind of drive a little screwy with it because it's one of those offset machines. But it kind of saves the tractor from having to run over the stones. Whoop. Not those ones, though. Or those ones. Kinda saves the tractor from having to run over the stones. But here's the issue we were having with this hill here. Hopefully we don't run into that because we're done with the stones that were on top. Because you see how the ground is kind of wavy up there. It's extremely uneven. Now, that didn't cause a problem with the plow, so hopefully it doesn't cause a problem with the planter that we end up using. But the plow is kind of diagonally shaped, so maybe that's why it didn't cause that much of an issue. However, the planters are squared, so hopefully we can avoid that, but if it's something we're going to have to work around, then that's what's going to happen. So just keep grabbing these stones up. And we're almost done with this section of the field here. So I'm thinking, yeah, here's one of the issues. See, I can't tell if it's because the machine itself is like digging into the ground. Because the ground on this hill is uneven, or if it's just a kind of a glitch with the machine and the ground, where the machine is accidentally getting stuck in the ground because of the system, or because of the game itself. Can't really tell which is which. It may very well be the first one, and it's just kind of, you know, a problem with the horsepower, or just how the bar attaches to the tractor. Or maybe it's just, you know, like I said, the horsepower of the tractor is just, you know, too weak to be pulling this along these hills. But once these stones are picked up, I don't really see a point in keeping the stone picker, because I plan on using a completely different. I kind of want to just use a disc harrow or a power harrow after harvesting. So I don't really plan on if we don't have to like deep deep cultivate at all, or plow even, then I'd rather just use a power harrow or a disc harrow just to get the seed bed up, instead of constantly having to use the stone picker. At least initially, especially with sunflowers, if you don't have to plow the ground after sunflowers, because I believe it's only like root crops, potatoes and sugar beets. Corn is one, and I think cotton is another that you have to plow after each harvest, or plow after every 2 or 3 harvests, maybe is what it is. So if I don't have to stone pick all the time, I might sell the stone picker back, but I also don't want it to turn into, well, I'm just going to buy the equipment and then sell it back, because they might as well just be leasing it. The plow is one thing, because we're not going to be, selling the plow back. There's no more land on here really that we can plow up to make a field, so that, and we're not planting anything that needs plowing afterwards at all. Trying to kind of figure out what sticking to rules is with these rules. Never said anything about selling equipment, but also just buying and selling equipment based off of need. It seems kind of weird. I don't know. Because I plan on buying the planter and keeping it until we can really afford all new, larger equipment. Same thing with this tractor. Like, I'm going to keep this tractor until it's basically outlived its usefulness. Repairing it is needed and all that. So maybe I shouldn't have sold the plow, so I'm not going to sell the stone picker. One thing I really wish I could do is actually grow some oilseed radish immediately. But you can't plant that until March. And when March comes around, we'll need the fertilizer spreader again. Or, we're already going to be planting sunflowers in March, so yeah, there's no time to be able to... I mean, I guess we could wait a month and plant oilseed radish instead. But I'd much rather get the sunflowers growing now. Yeah, I think it's just that hill over there. It's pretty uneven over there. The hill next to the little lake. I think it was just the hill and how uneven it was, because this doesn't seem to be a problem. The thing's not, as full yet, but I think it was just the shape of the hill over there was the issue. Now the reason why I'm slowing down here is because it's starting to get heavy back there. 100 horsepower to run this machine, but also, I've got over 1,600 liters of stones back there. So it's going to take some doing to be able to pull. But it's looking good so far. Just about finished with these stones. And then we'll move on to the other stones. We can hold off on spreading the lime until maybe the next day. And then after that, we have to be able to fertilize too. And I think getting one layer of fertilization down before March would probably be pretty good. So as soon as, maybe get the fertilizer down, and then in March, just after we plant the sunflowers, then fertilize it again. Now we have enough money to buy 2 more bags of lime, if need be. But if it looks like we're going to go into the negative, we're going to have to take a loan out to keep afloat. Don't really want to go into the negative. I'm thinking we might have to empty the stone picker out probably one more time before this field is finished. So we're going to have a nice little pile of stones waiting to be sold for later. And it's really going to kind of kick into overdrive once we can really get larger fields, and we'll have to plow larger fields because we're planting corn or something, or potatoes or sugar beets. But I'm still not really 100% sure about what exactly I want to do as far as kind of like the end goal. I was talking about possibly doing pigs. That's going to take quite a bit of money to get into, or quite a bit of money to get into. Yeah, I said that right. Sort of. I think it would be neat too, would be to do cereal. Like the idea of doing cereal. So that's going to be corn, oat, I believe raisins. Sugar involved too? It's either sugar or honey. I think it's honey, actually. So if we were to do sunflowers, we'd be able to get the sunflower money from the sunflowers, and then obviously we would have the bees that would help produce more sunflowers, and then the bees would be producing the honey, which we would then in turn use to make cereal. At least I think honey's used in the cereal. Oh. We're already having problems here. What if I lift it? If I lift it, can I get it on top here? No. So I might just have to back it up to it. Let's fold it. I think that'll help. I guess we'll just do it like this. There we go. Just gonna make a pile of stones. Might have to back it up over it next time. But I think it's honey for cereal. Let's see, production, factories, bakery, dairy, carpentry, grain mill, sugar mill, tailor shop, cereal factory. Yeah, so it's corn, oat, raisins, and honey to make cereal. And we can also go into oil to be able to make sunflower oil. Either sunflower or canola oil. Because canola and sunflowers both receive a bonus from bees. So, who knows? Right now it's just the raw crops. The raw product. These are all things for way later on down the line. And I know I saw that they announced some more stuff for Farming Sim 22 here coming up. I don't know when it's coming out. I read not really the patch notes, but I glanced at their post on Steam. Not really sure what they're introducing yet. I saw a bunch of vehicles and possible specs for vehicles maybe, but like I said, it was just a glance. I'll have to actually read the whole thing. So hopefully it's something really neat. There we go. Now, let's make sure to check the map. Looks like it's all good, right? Yeah, I don't see any stones on there. Now the other field there, it'll show red on it, the little red bit on the small field over there. That's apparently a spot that I missed when plowing, which kind of bugs me because it's a glaring mistake I can see on the map. But it's one I'm just going to have to live with for now. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing this destoning stuff. And if I think of anything as it pertains to what our end goal here is, I will bring you back and let you know. Otherwise, I'll interject here and there with different thoughts on how I'm going to proceed forward in the coming months to try and keep things rolling on steadily. Oh, missed some. Missed a bit of them. Just about finished here with the stones. Don't really know how much in the way of stones we have already. I think it was 2 full loads so far over there. So 4,600 sitting over in the pile, I think. Don't know how much we're going to yield out of this, or how much we're going to pull up out of this. Yeah, so the stones are almost done, and then we'll probably fill the rest of the day with liming one of the fields here. We're trying to finish liming up what we can with what we have. I definitely have to buy more lime. And I think to be able to, I think I am going to go ahead and get rid of the stone picker after this. Just because we're not going to need it for a long time yet. Much like the plow, we're not going to need it for a while. There's not going to be any plowing or stone picking after we're done the initial plowing and stone picking. So at least until we start getting into corn and actually producing the cereal. So that is something I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the equipment for that. It's just a temp thing, just for now, because we will need a stone picker and plow later on, and hopefully by that time we have bigger tractors, or at least a bigger tractor, because we probably won't get a second tractor for a long time. But just we'll get rid of the plow, or we already got rid of the plow, but we'll get rid of the stone picker as well, just because it's not going to be necessary, and I don't really see a purpose in keeping it around for now. I know it's kind of like, it might as well be leasing equipment, but we didn't pay the lease price, and we won't be getting we'll be getting a return on it, but I think we'll get like half of what we bought it for, if that. I just sound like I'm justifying it at this point, but I kind of am. Again, as I've stated in the past, if we have to change up some of the rules just to be able to keep the series rolling at a regular, steady pace, we're gonna do that, just because I want to see what happens. Basically, it's gonna be a while before we get anything done, as in like sunflowers grown and then harvested. It's gonna be a long time between that, so if we gotta have other sort of chores to be able to do in the meantime, we might as well get rid of the stone picker if that means we can do something else with the money from it later. Plus, we do want to try and pay some of that loan off. I'm just kind of rambling on as I try to justify breaking the rules that I tried to set, because it's more or less just a workaround of the leasing rule. At least that's how I'm kind of seeing it right now. I don't know. This may have been a little bit too ambitious, too, looking at what I'm trying to do. 28 days is a long time in the game. Even at 15 times speed, it's a long time. One full game day is about an hour in real life. At least the work day, anyway. The work day portion of it. So it's a pretty ambitious goal. And it's hard to figure out what to do with that time. Just don't really want to skip a whole bunch of days. You know what I mean? I want to be able to find something to do at least every day of the season. Or of each month. Now with that money, don't know what we'll do with it. It might try to place down another large greenhouse with that money. Might as well fill up while we're here. That may have gotten us over the top for a planter, actually. We can't do any planting yet because it's the wrong time of year. But we can look into it. Let's see. 1,500. Or 15,000. 1,500. What am I talking about? $15,000 to get this. I don't think we can really get it right now, just because there might be other things we can do with that money right now. We still have pretty much a whole nother month to save up. Almost about a whole month. 10 more days to save up. See what we can do. We haven't checked the weather recently. Weather looks like it's gonna be semi-windy the whole time, except for these bits here of 2-mile-an-hour winds. So we're gonna get back, and honestly, this money probably will just be going towards spreading lime and fertilizer on the fields for now. And we may have to look into selling some of the pallets of vegetables or produce that we have here. Also need to think about our chickens and their feed. I mean, it looks good so far. This one's a little low. Let's see, there it is. So we're looking at this, and this one's a little over halfway, this one's a little under halfway to another crate or another pallet of tomatoes. So it's going to be a little bit before we get that going on to strawberries instead. And then this one we'll be able to switch over to tomatoes pretty soon here. So we also have a bunch of silage fermenting, as well as a little bit of extra chaff going, or chaff that we can use later on to ferment as well. That's just in the forage wagon currently, but basically just waiting until all the silage is fermented to be able to sell it, which probably won't be able to happen until say about roughly, for the large one, beginning of March, and the small one, since we only covered it fairly recently, mid-March-ish. So we got enough time here to be able to work on liming one of the fields back here. So that's what we're going to work on. The next tractor up, I'm not sure what I want to try and get for the next tractor. When we go to sell this one and buy a new one. I haven't really looked into that yet. We want something that's obviously over 100 horsepower of some sort. Maybe either this Mathy? That's not how you say that. It's Massey. Massey Ferguson. We might try to get this little Massey Ferguson here. That might be nice. Starts at 105 horsepower, but if we can get the 145 horsepower one, that'd be great, but that's almost $100,000. I think there was one in here that I actually did really like quite a bit. Yeah, this one would be nice. Doesn't have a front attachment, though. That's the only problem with that one. This one would be cool to get. This one's only 58,000. We could get that fairly easy. $58,000 for just this little Fiat here. 150 horsepower, pretty nice little tractor. We could also just save up the money and try to get this Steyr. Little 135 horsepower tractor. It's pretty good too. But we'll have to see about that later. It's gonna be a long time yet before we can even do any of that. Yeah, just gonna lime up these fields. Hopefully we got enough in the back there to lime this whole field, but I don't know. It's going pretty quick already. We might have enough. If that's the case, then we'll probably just buy a couple more bags of lime to try and do the last one over there. But I think finishing this field, that's gonna be something for tomorrow, as well as starting on the next one. Because, yeah, it's already just about that time. And I'm pretty sure I hear the dinner bell already. It's about that time to go to bed here soon. Get some dinner and go to bed. I know I'm like kind of misusing some of the lime here. It's going off to the side of the field here, but since the field is such a kind of a wonky shape on the sides, on the edges here, it's, yeah, it's a little hard to keep it from missing spots, which is, I would say, arguably worse. If you got to keep going back and hitting spots you missed. I think I just missed a spot back there, so I'll have to go back and hit that a little later. We're kind of running into the issue of no light outside right now, so I think after this next pass, we're going to go ahead and park up the tractor and head inside for dinner in bed. And we'll do our nightly checks of the chickens and greenhouses, and as well as the bunker silos. Let's check the map here. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little spot I missed. That happens from time to time. I don't like leaving it not done. Right there. Okay, let's head over and park this up. Is that another? Yeah, just missed another spot. Wow. Good job, me. You got it now. Yeah. Looks like everything's in order over here. I don't think the chickens have laid any more eggs yet. Not yet. Still at 46 pieces. We'll see what we got as far as fermentation level is going here. 45%. Getting up there, that's for sure. Let's check this one. 11%. Alright. Yeah, that one's going to be about mid-March. That one's going to be towards the beginning of March. I believe. Go ahead and park this. And then we'll go check the greenhouses, which I think we already went past the greenhouse, the production list menu, which had the greenhouses in it. But I like to go over there. 266, 247, and this one's just about 200. So we'll probably see another pallet of strawberries coming out of here fairly soon. Now we've already got some pallets of goods to sell, and we'll sell those when we can. After the trailer's filled, I'm gonna go ahead and say 6 pallets, 6 pallets and then 6 more, so 12 pallets total. I left the lights on all day. Wow. Good job. So I'm gonna get some dinner, take a bath, and go to bed. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. But thanks for stopping by the homestead and checking it out. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I already said that. Until then, have a great night, everyone.